everybody. I'm Tim Henderson, Service Manager, Bane-Welker Equipment at the Terre Haute location. Today, representing the lawn and garden side of our service department, we're going to talk about some basic maintenance tips. We're looking at the Kubota ZD1211. What I'm going to talk about today is also going to be good for your ZD3100, ZD26, 326, and the 323s, and also the older 28s, 25s, and 21s. Just a basic, before you do any major mowing, it's always good to check your oil levels. But most importantly, your radiator. Even this time of year, how wet it is for us right now. Not so much the dust, but we're getting a lot of grass and debris. And on these radiators, your operator's manual will talk about keeping your screen clean. But what's also important when you remove this screen and clean it, the worst that happens is the grass is falling off and staying on your radiator. So all it takes is the size of your palm of grass in the very bottom, and our temp's going to start coming up. And then it's like a magnet. Once you start getting that stuff on there, it's going to grow. When you get into that dusty stuff, the fine particles get in. This can lead to a lot of problems. It can lead to just some stubbornness, or where you have to stop and you start having overheating issues, but it can really affect the engine. It can get into some really expensive repairs. If we can keep up on this, watch that temp, and if it starts going off, that's that warning. We got to keep it clean. Best way to keep these clean is with air. Water, if you blow the heavy stuff off and then go back with water, that's good, but water initially will just make it kind of worse. Just want to keep that clean, but the maintenance bills can get pretty intense, and sometimes you can get to the point where it's almost to the point you got to replace the engine on extreme situations if it's been overheated several times. So just something to look out for. Your air filter as well, you want to constantly keep up with that. That will make these machines run warm and also lose power if they're not kept clean. The ZD1211, it's equipped with 3 fuel filters. Your 300 series have 2, along with the 28, 25, and 21s. It's important to, if you're going to change them, change all 2 or all 3 at the same time. Keep up with that, and just check your oil. Then greasing. Those of you that use our winter special program every year, which is a great program, we come into service. Just when we do that, you still need to do your, every couple of weeks or once a week, depending on how much mowing you're doing, of your greasing to keep up and checking fluid levels. So on your ZDs, we have a gearbox drive that comes off of the transmission. That gearbox, self-contained, holds less than a quart of fluid. On the newer machines, we have a dipstick, so we can actually pull off the top and we can actually check level. Some of our older units, we have check plugs you remove, and we see how much oil is coming out. So this is something you want to maintain and keep up with. As you know, it's and those of you who don't know, you can remove that drive line and then help get the deck off the machine for repairs. But that drive line has 2 U-joints in it and also has a spline shaft, 2 pieces that comes together. We need to keep that greased. What that'll do, if you don't keep that spline shaft greased, it puts pressure on the gearbox and both U-joints. So you'll have some premature wear there, and that'll cost downtime and money. But on those gearboxes, that can get really expensive if we run out of oil and damage the bevel gears. So just keep up with the oil. Something to look at, if you're starting to see a little bit of oil residue underneath that gearbox, that's going to tell you if there's something going on. It's normal to see some of the grease spray out, but if it starts getting really wet, it holds less than a quart, so just keep an eye on that. The other spindles get greased, out 2 outers. You also have some areas that you have idler pulleys and idler arms that we need to make sure we grease and keep up with. Something we have seen a lot this year already. Sticks, these blades nowadays, they can take a hit from a stick or something in the yard better than they used to. But what we're seeing is sticks are getting pushed up on the top of the deck underneath the floorboard. What we're seeing is, especially on our smaller machines, the gas units, they don't have the drive line system. They have a belt drive. Sticks are getting in the pulleys, knocking springs and belts off and causing damage. This can really, really quick, create a repair and some downtime for you. So just a good overview of taking a look and making sure everything's free and clear. Tire pressure on these machines, since they are rear steer, you do want to keep up with that. It'll allow them to run straight. If you start having some drive issues or one slower than the other, check your tire pressure. It's also going to help improvement of your mowing deck height. Just some basic things you want to check overall. These are things that I like to see done almost every time you get on. I know it's hard to do, but just some quick things keep up. It's definitely going to help you have that opportunity to save some maintenance bills and downtime. Again, I'm Tim Henderson, Service Manager here at the Terre Haute location for Bane-Welker.